This is part two of the 5 biblical lessons from David that we can apply in our own self. So if you're coming across this video, I would encourage you to go and find the first video, as there are so many wonderful foundations on that one that you can apply in your life. We mentioned that David was after God's heart. In that series, there's so many powerful, profound stuff that you can apply in your life that can make God use you deeply when you fully surrender to Him. So, in this video, we are discussing trusting God's strength. Welcome and greeting. Let's open First Samuel 17, verse 45 to 47. 45 says, Then said David to the Philistine, You come to me with a sword, a spear, and a javelin, but I come to you in the name of the Lord of hosts, the God of the ranks of Israel, whom you have defied. He was not boasting in himself. He had faith in the God that he was serving. And 46 said, This day the Lord will deliver you into my hand, and I will smite you and cut off your head, and I will give the corpses of the army of the Philistines this day to the birds of the air and the wild beasts of the earth, that all the earth may know that there is a God in Israel. 47, and all this assembly shall know that the Lord saves not with sword and spear, for the battle is the Lord's, and he will give you into our hands. David really did trust that God. You see, he has so much boldness. He knows that what's going to happen once we begin to fight based on the person that he knows. The Israelites were so scared, deeply defeated, because they didn't have the Spirit of God. And David knew God, and he had a relationship with God. He trusted him so much that he knew that if he put his trust on him, God is going to show up. God has a name, and he's going to make sure that his name remain respected. And so that's why when we fight, we have to understand that when we are in prayer, when I'm saying fighting, because there is a right way to fight, you see. So when we are in prayer, praying for things or life or whatever situation that we're facing, we need to understand that God cares more for us, and God has a name, and He's going to fight for His name. You know, companies, when you cry about the customer service, some companies really do care. They try to reach out, they call you, they want to see how you felt after they spoke to you, after they tried 1 and 2 to make things better, because they don't want to have a bad name. So God is also, I somehow feel like they have been copying a lot of things from God, because, some ways that as they try to work on their name, you can see that PR does show, like, you see, God can do many things to show that He is powerful, and He's able to keep His name clean, because He is clean. Really, He is clean. It's just that the enemy tries to make God look like He's not clean and He cannot defend you. I mean, now looking at this situation, the Israelites were so defeated. The children of God were defeated as if they have never seen God fighting for them, because the Spirit left the king. And now, praising God so much that now David was the one now with the grace, and he was able to put his trust in God. He saw God showing up in his life. Remember David talking about the testimonies of how he was able to protect the sheep, protecting the animals from these animals. He protected these animals. You see, he was able to kill a bear and a lion. You cannot just do that. David had strength, but he's showing us that he trusted God. His strength came from believing in God. So let's go to point 3. It's faithfulness in small things. Let's open First Samuel 16, verse 11 and 12. Verse 11 says, Then he said to Jesse, Are all your sons here? Jesse said, There is yet the youngest. He is tending the sheep. Samuel said to Jesse, Send for him, for he will not sit down to eat until he is here. Verse 12 says, Jesse sent and brought him. David had a healthy reddish complexion and beautiful eyes, and was fine looking. The Lord said to Samuel, Arise, anoint him. This is he. Now, looking how amazing God was with all the work that David was doing, and then as scary that he had to go through all this, being a shepherd, dealing with animals. You see the job that he was doing. I'm sure David was not even thinking much that he would become a king, that God would see him fit for this big position, for being good in the small things that he's doing. Sometimes people want the next thing while they are not doing the right thing now. So it's important to do good and do the best in the small thing that you have now. You need to show God that with what He has given you, you are able to do the best. You can multiply whatever it is that He has given to you. Now, God chose David when He was sending Samuel. He told him that He has found a man after His heart. And now we see that David was busy with sheep. This was his responsibility, and he was doing his job. He was the best in what he was doing. So whether you are in ministry, wherever that you are in the position that you are in, or being a mom, being a sister, being a brother, a father, whatever that God has placed you in, the ministry that you are in, do pray to be the best in what God has assigned you to do. You can be best in whatever that He's assigned you. So it's not about always trying to look for the best level. It's about doing the best here. When you do the best here, God will find a way to elevate you because He knows how to do His work. If we remember Joseph in the Bible, where he was imprisoned for something he didn't do. You can be good and still people still hate you or reject you or do whatever that they think is right. Joseph was not at fault, but somehow he was in prison. And after giving the interpretation of the dreams that they had, you see, he told this man to not forget him. The man came out of the prisons, but he forgot Joseph. It had to take God after 2 years to bring another dream so that they can remember Joseph. You see, he remembered that he forgot. You can imagine he had to remember that he forgot. So that beautiful thing is having God to do things for you that, you may feel like there's so much going on that it looks like your name cannot be seen by people. But you must know that God sees you and God cares so much about you that He knows what He has to do to make sure that you will get that seat that you need to have, because your name has some blessings attached to them. So you need to give your best in what you are now, even in church, whether you are singing, preaching, whatever that you are doing, the service that you are doing in church. Give your best, do the best, make sure that you show up and you show best because you are doing all of that for God. God is the one that will make sure that you get your next seat. He's the one that has to make things happen. So you don't have to try to push things up and get your way forward that is against His will. When you do the best, He will see to it that you go to the next level. He's the one that makes things possible. He also told us, the Bible talks about humble yourself. In due time, God will exalt you. When you humble yourself, He's doing the next thing. When you give your best and you do what you must do, He's able also to do something to help you to go to the next level. If you find value in this video, please share with someone who needs it as well. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. God bless you. God keep you. May He shine His face upon you. Love you. Mwah.
Thanks for watching.